Okay, so there's a question that just came in over on Twitch before this cutscene that I wanted to talk about. Legivad CB says, playing part 1 to prep for part 2, and man, sometimes when I get killed, I have to do 30-40 minute sessions again because I can't save the game. So this is an interesting one because I've seen some very, interesting discussions about this popping up on YouTube, around the YouTube videos. And it seems like a lot of people just don't understand how to save the game, how the save system works in Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 and 2. It's a little bit better in 2 because of the save and exit to menu works a little bit differently. So this is a great way to create it. You can only have one of them, but it's this orange save file which persists. So once you create a hard save via the save and exit, that's pretty much the quick save option if you don't want to use your save your schnapps. You could do it in the first game as well, but if I remember in the first game, it only lasts until your login. And then once you're back in the game, that save file disappears. But here in the second game, it persists. But since the comment was made about the first game, you can use this method in the first game as well. You just save and exit to menu, that creates a save, and then you can go from there. But you only get to use it that one time. There are two primary methods: save your schnapps and beds. Those are the two methods to save your game in Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It is super easy to use both of those. There is no reason you should be losing 30 to 40 minutes of progress. That's literally either you're willfully not saving the game or you just didn't know about saving the game. So I'm going to assume you just didn't know, as opposed to you're willfully not using the system. So, two things you need to do, whether it's Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 or Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. There are two things you need to do. One is you need to get your hands on as many beds as possible. You can do this by buying rooms at any of the inns and taverns that you come across. You're going to get some beds for free as a result of the storyline in both games. Kingdom Come 1, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, you're going to get free beds as you progress through the storyline. Around that, you can purchase rooms permanently at any tavern that you come across, tavern or inn, and they are relatively inexpensive. You do need to have coin to pay for them, but as a general rule, they are not expensive, and you can haggle the price down. So I've bought them for as little as 50 gold and as much as like 150 gold, and that's those beds are permanent once you purchase them. You can quick save at any bed that you own in the game. So I'm going to give you an example because we actually have a bed at the inn here in Kuttenberg, over here by a quick save point. So I go over here to this quick save and you'll notice I have a bed, your bed right there, and that's at the Hangman's Halter Tavern. So I bought a bed at that inn, and that means that anytime I want to save the game, I fast travel and I hop off at that inn. I go to the bed, you go to sleep in the bed, and it says sleep and save. And when you have beds set up at every tavern you come across, you suddenly have this massive network. It does take time to build up, but you will eventually have a network of beds throughout the countryside where you're never more than 90 seconds away from a bed. And that allows you to quick save whenever you want. Outside of that, you obviously have save your schnapps, which you can have here in your inventory. You can find these in the game world. You can loot them. You can find them in chests. You can find them in buried treasures or graves. You will always be finding save your schnapps. And if you don't find save your schnapps, you can buy save your schnapps off of apothecaries and or general merchants. They will almost always have save your schnapps available for sale. They are relatively inexpensive. I have purchased them for between 20 and 50 groschen. That's inexpensive. Apart from that, you can make save your schnapps in the alchemy system. The save your schnapps allow you to create your traditional quick save anywhere you want in the game at any point in time, but you only have that one save. So you can't create multiple save files using this system. You create one hard save. The next time you use a Schnapps, it replaces that hard save. So if you are spending 30 to 40 minutes, if you're losing 30 to 40 minutes of progress, I feel like you either didn't know about these systems, like I said, so I'm giving you that benefit of the doubt. So now you know about these systems. If you knew about these systems and you're losing 30 minutes of progress, um, that's on you because you're willfully not using these systems. So yeah, that's how you create quick saves. It's so easy. It is literally. I've seen this comment crop up a bunch of my YouTube videos, and now I saw it in the stream this morning. It is such a non-issue for me. Yeah, Ashley said pretty much every innkeeper sells shaver stops for super cheap. She's got a stack of like 20, right? Like I only have 4 or 5 on me right now because I don't feel the need to keep a whole bunch because I can find them anytime I want them, and I can also make them anytime I want them. So it's like I think I have 10 or 12 rooms across the land now at the various inns in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Plus, I could find Savior Schnapps on demand at pretty much any innkeeper, trader, apothecary, and they're pretty much in every single town or major city. So, saving, it's not an issue. Is it different than many other games? Sure. It's a different system for sure. But once you understand how to work within that system, there is no, like, I think the only time I've lost more than maybe 5 or 10 minutes of progress has been um, when I've been on like a major cutscene and I forgot to like go sleep at the inn. Because I will say that's one thing, the game does not autosave enough. I wish it had more autosaves. Because I have had moments where I've lost like 10, 15 minutes, and it's mostly because I did a cutscene, and then I went off and did this huge thing where I was like following an NPC, and he was talking the whole time. We get to a destination, and then I ride back to town, and I get ambushed, and I realized that I forgot to save at the end before I went on that ramble across the countryside with that guy, and then there wasn't an autosave at the end of that. That's been the only time I've seen that be an issue, but I've never lost 30 to 40 minutes of progress. Like, and plus the second time you come back and do that, generally speaking, if it's cutscene related, and you guys have seen me do this on stream, like when I come back and it's a cut, if it's like a 15 minutes of dialogue, we had this happen last night during the detective quest because I decided I didn't want to do that thing I did with the priest. That might sound dirty. If you were there, you know, you know. And so I reloaded. And yeah, that was like, I think the first time we went through it, it was like 20 minutes of dialogue because I was letting them talk the whole time. The second time when I reloaded, I was just like skip, 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 and it was like, you know, maybe 90 seconds of me skipping dialogue to get to the action again. So even then, yeah, I don't think I've ever. So yeah, there's no reason you should be losing 30 to 40 minutes of progress. There's no reason for that. If you didn't know about the systems, now you know. And if you were willfully choosing not to use those systems, that's a you problem, not the game problem. So anyway, great question for the early morning stream here. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Daily streams at around 6 a.m. Central, although we have been starting early the last few days because I've had to be up with the cat.